everybody, this is Jo here from Creative Empowerment, back with a pick a card reading about the path ahead. We're using a pathway spread, which is from a druidic system of divination. So using an ancient or an older pathway spread to have a look at, what's happening in your life, where are you going, where have you been, what sort of patterns and life lessons are coming up, what sort of challenges have you been working on, and what's working for you and what's working against you. So that's what we're looking at today with this particular reading. And as with all pick a card readings, you have some cards in front of you, which what we want to do is focus on the energy of which card is drawing us. And it may be more than one. I will go ahead and put some crystals on there that may help you choose. Okay, so we have pile number 1 here, and we have a Lemurian quartz. We have pile number 2 with a clear quartz point. Pile number 3 with another Lemurian quartz. And the final one is this was given to me by my first Reiki master. So it was given to me as a Reiki quartz or a Reiki stone. So it's obviously got some terminations on it, multiple terminations. Okay, so seeing which pile is drawing you, and then you can skip ahead to your reading or readings. And as always, please don't forget to like and follow this channel. Pick a card reading each week. And if you would like to keep up to date with any events and other things that are going on, Facebook is a great place to follow me. So I will see you in your reading. Hi there, pile number 1. If you chose the first Lemurian seed crystal, then this is your reading today. Okay, so your first card is about the past, and it's Galactic Healer. Move forward with an open mind. Now you have Galactic Healer, you also have picked Lemurian quartz, so there may be some aspects in your path that are very linked to, higher beings, connections with multi-layered beings, multiple realities. You may feel strongly connected to Lemuria, Atlantis, or Egypt, and in your past, so this could be past life, but it also could be that you've already started to connect to that in this lifetime. We want to make sure that, that we remember these things, but we don't want to let it to become, all-encompassing and that it takes over every aspect of our lives. We want to embrace what we need to know about these times, and then we need to move on. Our second card for you is Mending, and this is the present. So you could be somebody who's been working on healing. You could be somebody who has been working quite a lot on your spiritual path, on where you're headed, and this healing, or I'm seeing it as a healing card. It's called Mending, but it's about healing, relationships in our lives. So you may have been working on that. You may have been working on wounded inner child, or, inner child wounding, however you want to call it. Excuse me. And that's what you might be doing presently. You might be going through a lot of wounding and accessing that for yourself and really delving into it. And it might be a very heavy time for you right now. The third card we have for this pathway spread for you is Wish Upon a Star, and I feel like you have had a heavy past. I feel like you are working through some pretty heavy stuff, or you're nearly out of it. But this wishing upon a star to me is again, we've got that childlike energy. So and we've got Otter up there, which is all about playfulness. So there is a lot here about inner child, and that connection to a childlike spirit. So take what resonates from that. The Wish Upon a Star is talking about actually believing that you can have the life that you want, really focusing on thinking about what it is you would like on your path ahead. The future sometimes, I'm feeling very ungrounded while I'm talking about this for you, pile number one. And there are times when our future is really rock solid, and there are certain things set in stone, or it feels like that for us. But for you, this wish upon a star, I feel like there's a lot of things that are up in the air. So you have to start, asserting your will and really deciding what it is that you want to work towards. And the universe will then start, pitching in and getting involved with you. Card number 4 is Otter, and this is about the set of life lessons that you're either working through or that is moving through your life. Now, Otter is very much about feminine energy. It's about flow. It's about playfulness. There's a lot of wateriness when it comes to this card, and deep, dark sort of yin energy. And yeah, there's some other stuff here that we're not at yet, but I'm wondering how much of you, pile 1, is about controlling everything, and then versus allowing things to go with the flow. Because I feel like you're being really sort of, not held up, but called back, because I feel like whatever it is that you've been healing, and, like we are talking about some pretty significant stuff to me, it feels like. But I feel like you may, as humans, we have this belief that we can control things. And one of the strongest beliefs or strongest things that is coming to me at the moment is the more we try and control things, the less control we have. And if we allow spirit, the great divine, the essence of what it is around us, that higher calling, that higher nature, that higher energy, if we allow that more control in our life, and I don't mean control, that's our word that we would use. If we allow more spirit energy into our lives, more playfulness, more lightheartedness, more of that feminine energy of going with the flow, connecting to the yin and that watery element, things happen for us, things move, we have synchronicities and stuff like that. And this is the pattern and the life lessons that's moving through your life at the moment. And so you may be finding that there are challenges because you're in this mending phase. You may be finding that there are challenges because you're not going with the flow. You're sticking to this stuckness and this idea of control, and that my will over other things. There's that strong nature coming in there for me. The next card is card 5 down here, which is the challenge you have conquered or the lessons just completed. And life purpose is coming in here, which I feel really great about for you. I feel like you're starting to get this mirrored, like life is mirroring you back. So you may have been someone who struggled with their life purpose. You may have been somebody who wasn't able to figure it out, and usually that's because there's something big for you to do. But this card here is really talking about the fact that things that it's not that you want, but it's the things that you see for yourself as your life purpose. They're starting to show up for you, that you're starting to see them, you're starting to meet them on the road ahead. And I really love that, because that's a big shift for you. I feel like because you've done a lot of healing work, I feel like this is really like the planetary shift that we're going through at the moment. This is really connecting with your life purpose. So we've got this high frequency going on here. I feel like you're a healer, a psychic, whatever you are, but whatever you do, you could work with kids, a teacher, there's all these different things you could be, but you are very connected. And if you're watching this and you're thinking, I'm not, well, perhaps that's something that's going to come to the fore a little bit more for you. So next we have what is working for you. And as I just said a minute ago, if you're not feeling that you are creative, spiritual, connected to your intuitive side, that this card could actually be calling that out, because that is saying what is working for you. So that is working for you in your life. But if you're not connected to it, because the Page of Cups is all about that, synchronicities, expecting the unexpected, allowing the creative flow. So there's a lot of flow here. Like, we're not seeing a heap of water, but the cards are talking about this flow. They're talking about intuition. They're talking about this wave of stuff that you could be carried with. But I feel like this element of control that you're still hanging on to, I feel like you're struggling with this. So instead of this being, it's working for you, it is working for you in your life, but I feel like your efforts to hang on to the control are stifling that for you. And then we have it's our second last card, because I've drawn an extra card, is what is working against you. And wheat is a wonderful card to be working against you. Well, I suppose it depends on how we look at it. But this card is all about reaping what you've sown. It's about the harvest. So the fact that this card is working against you, I feel like there's a resistance here to the flow. I feel like there is, that we are, Pile 1, that you're struggling with your own connection to the earth plane, because this is sitting under here, which is blocking abundance from your life, which is blocking you reaping the benefits of your life. I feel like I'm in this pile, just so you know, Pile 1. However, there may be more piles because I haven't filmed them all yet. Your last card is kind of like an overarching card for you, and it's 13, Coral. 13 is very much a feminine card, a feminine number. There are 13 moons in a year. The moon is feminine. Women have 13 cycles, menstrual cycles in a year. And this is all about nurturing. So we see the red coral here, and the red coral is very much what they call the blood of Mother Earth. And the waters of the earth are the blood of the earth. I think that is how this card is described, or how they describe this. But I will read the last bit of this card to you, because I think it's important to sort of get a bit of a frame, a picture here. So this is an overriding card for your path ahead. If coral has appeared in your cards today, you're being asked to look at the idea of nurturing. So very much what we're talking about, that flow, the watery elements. It may be time to nurture yourself or another. If you refuse to be nurtured, it may be time to drop that superhuman attitude before you get sick. Coral tells us that our bodies have needs too. Pay attention and be good to your body. Coral also speaks of the planetary family. Oh, I love that. If you feel lonely or alone, it may be time to have a reunion with the other creatures that share the earth with you. Well, for me, this also interplanetary creatures or beings, I would say. Listen to all our relations and cut the I am only one out of your thoughts. Coral always tells us to listen to our feelings. If you've been ignoring how you feel around certain people or how your body feels, Coral is insisting that you reconnect to those feelings. Remember, to feel is to heal. So the Coral card is about that feminine nurturing element. So I've been talking a lot about flow. I've been talking about connecting to the feminine, which is the yin. So the things that you're doing some deep healing work. I can really see that here. You're starting to connect more in this aspect here of whatever sort of yin aspects that you're working with. But there is still this challenge here, because these two cards, the way they're showing up, there's still a challenge on your path. And I feel that's probably because you're not allowing yourself to see, what greatness you could be bringing into your life, because you are still sort of stuck on this idea that you have to control it all, when you've actually got this really high dimensional frequency sort of things that you're working on and within your life. So my suggestion to you would be that it's about connecting more to that sort of feminine flow aspect for you, so that you can reap the benefits of the abundance that is on its way to your life. But connecting to your own, intuition, your psychic talents and abilities, and that playfulness of children, but also that sort of nurturing aspect of mothering and Mother Earth. So some really interesting energies there for you, Pile 1. I hope you've enjoyed this reading. If you have, please give it a big thumbs up. If you would like to book a private reading with me, there is a link in the description box below. Hope to see you again in a reading in the future. Bye for now. Hi there, Pile number 2. If you chose the clear quartz point, then this is your reading today about your pathway ahead, or the path ahead. So we have past, present, future, and your past, we have an 11, so a significant thing that has gone on in your past. Dark night of the soul, life brings new meaning. So this card is really talking about perhaps some illness or, some real challenges when it comes to your health. Particularly either in the past, and with the card of regeneration next, it feels like, you still might be working on those challenges, or they're still very much present in your mind. These can be mental health as well as physical health. Regeneration, I really love this card. This is a card of growth. This is a card of really finding what you're passionate about and then growing into the light, it's reaching up into the light. So at present, you may still be undergoing quite a lot of challenges in your path, Pile number 2, but you're starting to break free as well, in many ways, whether that's literally, metaphysically, or metaphorically. But there is a lot of change happening. There's a lot of regeneration, and this is about you moving in the direction that you want to go and finally seeing some results, because we have the leaves on the tree. So some things are starting to shift and move for you. And this is also an 11. No, it's not. It's a 10. 10. I can't count. That's a 10 and that's a 10. So we've got some endings coming up for you, Pile number 2. And that's really significant. The next thing we have is Waking the Lion, and this is your future. This is about where you're going. And I love this progression here from the past, which is that dark night of the soul. We have regeneration, which there's still a lot of dark energy happening, but we're moving into more light here. And then we have this burst of gold, which is where you're going. And I love how the Empress is sitting up above this as well, but we'll bring her in a bit. This is about expansion. This is about bringing your best life, into the fore. So this is a great card for you. This is courage. This is awakening. There's so many things that I could, say that this card is, but the future is looking bright from you, so particularly from this dark past, or from, whatever significant event this is. And it may not have been an illness. It could be a death or something like that. Of someone significant in your life. So, whatever that dark night of the soul is for you, you know what I'm talking about. Then we have card 4 up here. And card 4 is all about the pattern or set of life lessons that is moving through your life at the moment. And it's a really fitting card because it's Wolf. And Wolf is all about teacher. Wolf is a great card. It's about family. It's about leading the pack. But sometimes it's all about learning things so that you can teach others things. And sometimes those things aren't that great. Sometimes the lessons that we have chosen to learn in this lifetime, they're very challenging. And so Wolf here, it's really coming in to explain how important what you've been learning is. And it doesn't mean that it hasn't been challenging. It doesn't mean that it's been easy. But Wolf is here as a protector, a guide, a friend, to sort of help you benefit from the experiences that you've had, and then help others benefit from those experiences and lessons too. So it's if you haven't yet befriended that idea, I think that's a really important one for you on your journey, on your path, because sometimes we don't understand that point of view until after. But if we can understand it, while it's all happening to us, it helps us learn our own lessons, because then we realize that the burdens that we're carrying and the experiences that we're going through, that they're to benefit more than just our own life. And I think sometimes that helps us. Now, the next one we've got here is card 5, and the challenge you are, which is about, card 5, which is about the challenge you have conquered or the lessons just completed. And here we have dreams. So this is a really sort of shape-shifting energy that I'm feeling here. This is really talking to me about how this feels quite harsh and quite in your face kind of energy. Sorry, I'm just going to move that. And I feel like you might be someone who's said to your guides and your higher self, or whoever you commune with, I need you to show me things in my dreams, because this feels too much at the moment. This feels too hard. I'm still recovering, whatever this might be. But it's like, show it to me in my dreams, because that's the only way that I'm going to understand it. It's too much if you give it to me in any other way. So you might be somebody who's really starting to understand how dreams are working for you. And it doesn't mean that they're precognitive dreams. I think that's the word. I don't even know if I said that right. But it doesn't mean that, you're seeing things before they happen. What this is talking about is using symbols in dreams to help you understand what it is that's showing up in your life. And I really love that for you. And I think it really works really, really well for you. And if you are yet to understand the symbols of your dreams, that's okay, because it's something that is being worked on in your life at the moment. It is a challenge maybe still for you. The next card we have is the Empress, and this is sitting in card 6 position. And this here is all about what is working for you. That is a great card for you. This could be for some of you that, you are a mother, and that you have that aspect of your life is really working for you. This could be that you're manifesting abundance. Like this card talks of a lot of different things, and it could be that that you're starting to manifest this dream, this life of your dreams, that you're working on. It could be that, that you're waking this lion of what it is that you can bring into your own life. Because sometimes when we have a particularly hard experience in our lives, we can become quite dejected and feel like life isn't working for us, which is definitely, why the wolf is coming in. But the Empress is coming in here too, to show you that you have the ability to turn things around. And the lion sitting underneath the Empress, I feel like these energies are really, really nice together. And this feels like the future, and this is what's working in your life. And I love that those sorts of energies working together. The next card that we have is what is working against you, and that is, so Puffball here is about relief from pain. It's about interconnectedness or interconnection and mystery. So there could be several things, because this is a group reading. So for some of you, this could be that, that the pain that you've experienced is not yet leaving your life. You're still working through it. You still lots of challenges around pain. Another one could be that you're not seeing your interconnectedness with other people or with the world. You're not seeing your place in the world. Again, we're sitting under this dark night of the soul. So this card is really challenging and sort of keeping this in the present more so than putting it in the past. Then the other aspect of this is that perhaps you're not seeing how this all fits in, how the dreams fit in, how your dark night of the soul, what it's supposed to be giving you or bringing you, should I say, what is the gift in this dark night of the soul. So there's some messages there around that sort of stuff. And what I'm seeing is positive, but the thing is, you may not be experiencing that positivity, and that may still be very challenging for you. Pile number 2. Now we have 2 cards which are like the overriding messages or overriding messages for your path at this point in time. We have cradle board and great spoken. Cradle board is ability to respond. That fits really quite nicely with what I was just talking about. The fact that, you know, there is still this out of balance thing here for you, which is around not fitting in, not seeing the mystery, and perhaps still being in pain. So, you know, there is this element here that makes sense. But I am going to read little parts of these cards to you because they're quite long in detailed messages, and I want to give you a bit of a snapshot. But we've also got great smoking mirror, which is reflection. So things being reflected to you. And I do like that for you. And I feel like that sort of comes in with the dreams and the teacher aspects. But let's have a read of these, and hopefully you'll get a better picture of what I'm talking about here. So the cradle board says that the papoose you are carrying is your future. If you wish to influence it, you must respond now. Whatever your situation, the ability to respond is called for at this time. The warrior side of your nature has the courage you need. So we've got the courage here. Don't sit and wait for someone to do something. Use your creativity, speak your truth, and respond. So, yeah, that's a key message for you. You are being reminded that it's your responsibility to find your own answers and act upon them. Whether it is a past, present, or future challenge makes no difference. You can respond in a way that will promote your growth. Look at how you can use your personal medicine to respond to the situation, and how that action will make you grow. You have the ability, so now you must recognize it in the self and use it. So some pretty heavy words there, but very much, this healing crisis that you've been going through, very much about putting it back onto yourself. Why are you going through it? What is it that you need to learn from that? And, asking yourself, what is it I need to learn, the reflection aspect here, and what is it that I need to take forward with me? What do I need to let go? Some really big questions for you. Now, the great smoking mirror reflects the lesson of leaving the myth behind. You are what you decide you are. Remove the smoke screen that hides your natural talents or worth and stand tall. Recognize the areas to be developed further and begin that process. Stop cowering before your potential and live your truth. There are millions of role models to choose from. On another level, you are being asked to be a good reflection for others, which is that teacher that I talked about. Encourage others to be bold through walking your talk. The reflections you see in others may not make you happy if you are doubting yourself and your right to be. Jealousy on any level only inhibits growth and wastes energy. Shatter the mirrors that insist on self-importance, gloom, or failure so that you can get down to what's really important. On all levels, the smoking mirror asks us to accept light and shadow as equal. I love that. The reflections we dislike can be worthy opponents to teach us to grow into our potential. Even our shadow sides serve us by leading us through trial and error to the true image of self. Some big, big messages there for you, pile number 2. And I do feel like, you are the group that has got a very big challenge going on here. But it is, part of that is for you to learn these really important lessons that your soul came to learn. And these 2 cards here, really super important. So you may want to skip back and just listen to them again. There's lots of information in there. One is a 9, which is an ending. And then we have, and we had lots of 10s and 11s here. Then we have a 40, which is a 4, which is about stability, growth, putting down some stable foundations to build a better future on. And I love that for you. Hope you've enjoyed it, pile number 2. Please give this video a big thumbs up. Please share with family and friends, and please follow me over on Facebook. And if you would like to book a private reading, there is a link in the description below. Hope to see you in a reading in the future. Bye for now. Hi there, pile number 3. If you chose this other piece of Lemurian quartz, then this is your reading today. And I don't know if it's focusing. Come on, you silly thing. There we go. So what are we looking at with your path ahead? We have past, present and future running right through the center here. Past is all about clearing and activating, and this can be anywhere in your life. This can be your house, your own energy, something within one of your relationships, anything like that. And it's all about clearing clutter. It's energetically cleansing and clearing space because you're feeling blocked, negative, run down, anxious, all these things that can be going on for you. And really this card, like, it's a 9, so it's a good thing. Then we've got a 10 and we've got a 5 and another 5. So this card is completing something, or close to it anyway. The clear and activate, I feel like, you could be someone who really focuses on their own energy, does some yoga, qigong, or something like that. There's also space clearing in here. There's lots of different things this could be because it's a group reading. But it's in the past, and sometimes Spirit just tells us something not that significant. With the other groups, we've had kind of heavier messages at this point. But this could be simply that, you've had to clear some clutter out of your life. You've had to let some stuff go. And I feel like you've done that quite successfully. Pile 3. But then we move into the never-ending story here, and this is in the reverse. So this is the present energy. It's a 10, so we're supposed to be finishing something out here. Never-ending story to me, like sometimes I used to get this card a lot if you go back and watch some of my older videos. And when it's in this upright position, it is talking literally about not seeing the end of something. So it can be cycles, it can be something that's showing up in your life, could be lessons, that sort of thing. So for me, this card talks about not my circus, not my monkeys. It's really just detaching. So where I feel like you've probably detached at a personal level with personal stuff. And for some of you, this might be, the opposite of this. You may have been able to detach from other people. But this card here feels almost like you've been able to detach personally from things in your own life and let go of some stuff. But perhaps there's still drama around you. Perhaps there are people creating things in your life that you'd rather walk away from, but you haven't yet been able to do that because it feels like it's in a stuck position to me, this card. The next card we have is the future, and that is a higher view, and I love that card. Not only I love that card for you, but I just love this card in general. It is talking about getting up and getting beyond the mundane. It is really getting out of the drama. So very much about this one here, and it's really an energetic shift. So you might be somebody who, has been pretty good at your own stuff, but there have been people around you that, you've got sucked into all of their stuff. And this here, the higher purpose or the higher view, that's interesting I said higher purpose. Perhaps your higher purpose is to get that higher view and to get sort of detached from those people. And I do love that we've got the crow leaving above with the 6 of Swords there. So some nice synergies coming in for you in this reading. Our next card is card 4 up here, which is Horse. It's talking about power being, true power is about wisdom. It's about understanding that sometimes, you have to walk in other people's shoes. Sometimes you have to leave other people alone. Sometimes you need your own space. There's all types of power, and the ability to know when you need to wield whatever power it is, that's an important part of Horse's medicine. Wisdom comes from remembering pathways you've walked in another person's moccasins. Compassion, caring, teaching, loving and sharing your gifts, talents and abilities are the gateways to power. But I would add there that knowing your own power is when to say no also is, because it feels like that drama here, and they've got the well-being card under here. So horse is really talking about understanding your own power, is the ability to say no, because I feel like you're very good at your own stuff, but when it comes to others, this is the challenge for you on the path at this point in time. Our next card here is I don't know if I said what that card was. Card 4 is the pattern or set of life lessons that's moving through your life at the moment. So very much that idea of being in power and control of your own life. Then we have this card down the bottom, which is card 6. The challenge that you've conquered or the lesson just completed. And this is very much about looking after yourself. It is about your own well-being. It is knowing when to put yourself first. It is understanding that even though you might be compassionate, caring, loving person, that there are times when you have to say no. Like this card in the middle for me is such a big thing for you. Everything is just on this axis. Now, I know that that's the same for everybody but it hasn't been that way for the other readings. This for you is very, very important. When this is in balance, and I don't mean that it's in the positive of never ending story, but what I mean is when you have this aspect in balance, which is the present thing you are working on, there's going to be a big shift in your life. That's, group reading, so take what resonates. The next card we have here is what is working for you. And I love this because it is walking away from things that are emotionally charged or turbulent or don't suit you. Do you know what I mean? Looking after yourself and moving away. And that is what you're learning here. And, this well-being card is all about that. What is working against you is mugwort. And sometimes we just can't see things clearly. You can see this card, it's shrouded by the moonlight and things are a little bit hazy. All the colours are similar. Sometimes there's a lot of turbulence in our inner and our outer life, and it's hard to come to decisions. It's hard to make decisions. And I talked about turbulent waters up here too. So sometimes we just need to wait till things settle. We need to get to that calm state again, and it feels like, and this is what's not working for you. So it's about understanding that there is a time and a place for everything. Mugwort here is reminding you that you may be really good at the other aspects of mugwort, which upright, they're about prophecy, clairvoyance and protection. And there are times, and particularly in your path right now, where confusion, indecisiveness and negativity are clouding a lot of the decisions you're making, or the ability to see clearly. So just, spend some time letting the negative influences in your life, leave it, and focusing on clearing them up. Get that higher view. Focus on your own well-being because they're important for you right now, pile number 3. And our last card, which is like an overarching card for your path at the moment, is 5, Standing People, and it's roots and giving. Now I'm reading from these particular cards because there's a lot of information with them and they are new ones for me. The Standing People card speaks to us of our roots and of roots and giving. We must nurture ourselves through connection to the earth in order to give freely without exhaustion. That is super important for you. The root of the self is where strength is gathered. This root should be firmly earthed in the soil of our mother planet. Without this connection, dreams cannot manifest and our giving cannot be compensated by Mother Earth. If you are spaced out, stop and reconnect. Be still and become the trees in order to observe what is growing in your forest. The root of every answer for physical life is found in the earth. Look for your family tree for the strengths offered by your ancestors. Lift your branches high, seeking the light of Grandfather Sun and you'll see how your roots make you of the earth and yet a bridge to the sky world. The standing people are asking you to give of yourself. Ask yourself if you are willing to give and receive. Count the root of every blessing with gratitude. Find any blockages that limit your root system or ability to go deeper. Then remove that feeling and go deeper once again for the answers you seek. Remember that we are also the root of the future, and through our lives, future generations are nurtured. Weed out anything that will inhibit future growth, and you can stand proud among your tree relations. So very much about this present that's going on in your life at the moment. Weeding out anything that does not serve you, weeding out the drama, the excess, and standing in your own power and being true to yourself and allowing yourself to get this higher perspective of who you are in relation to, in relation to your whole life. I hope you've enjoyed this reading, pile number 3. Thank you for being here. Please give this video a big like and share it with family and friends. If you'd like a private reading, please, there is a link in the description box below. Please follow me on Facebook to stay connected. Thanks. Hope to see you in a reading soon. Hi there, pile number 4. If you chose this Reiki quartz, is what I'm calling it, then this is your reading today about your path ahead. Our first cards are past, present, and then you've got 2 cards as your future. So we're looking at what has gone before, what you might be currently going through, and then what we're looking at for the future. Then we've got some other cards, so we'll have a look at those soon. So the past here is talking about ascended masters create open communication. And I'm wondering here if you're someone who sees through the veil, if you're someone who does really communicate with your own spirit guides, angels, higher self, does automatic writing, something where you're crossing over the veil. And this could even be in your dreams, or it could be when you were a child. So there is an aspect here of you connecting with spirit. But for some reason, I'm not sure if it's continuing. There's something here that feels like this might have been something that has not continued, but we'll keep going and we'll see what's happening. Next we have Treasure Island, and I'm actually feeling like, just looking at the numbers now, we've got 30 and a 13, that's a 4, that's a 9, that's a 2, and that's a 10. So Treasure Island, when it's reversed, is all about you not understanding your own worth and your own value. It's about you seeing or believing that there is something that you're lacking. You're not seeing your own beauty. You're not seeing what worth you provide, whether this is in work or in life or family, whatever it is. But the other thing about this card is that there's this great big fin under the water. Now, it might be in perspective and in relationship to the turtle, but I always see the fin as this big rudder or oar that's leading you somewhere. And so when this card is reversed, it has a different sort of take upon it. And to me, this is talking to me about perhaps you seeing something in your own shadow that you think is way worse than somebody else sees. And this is very much what's happening in your life at the present. So to me, I feel like you're looking at your own shadow in a very, very critical and negative way. And I feel like you're, being really hard on yourself. And I feel like this could be stopping or blocking you from connecting like you used to, or how you have connected, and you may have forgotten this in the past. So this feels like the present energy that you're working through. And then in the future, we have feeling the world and shining through. And shining through is very much a card of breaking through old stuff and feeling the world. Again, we've got that blast of light going through both of these cards. So it feels like coming in the future for you in your path, there's going to be a big breakthrough for you. And it does feel to me at the moment, without looking at everything else, that we're looking at a a big breakthrough when it's concerning self, but it is also concerning some sort of, our ability to work with the other planes. So let's have a look at the other cards and see what other information we're getting here. But yes, in the future, we are going to have a big breakthrough for you. And for some of you, it may not be related to these things. It may have a different breakthrough that you're going to have in your path ahead. So our top card there is card 4, Raccoon. And Raccoon is about the pattern or set of life lessons that is moving through your life at the moment. And Raccoon is, there's that sort of crafty kind of sneaky energy with Raccoon, and it's a playful energy too. It's like a bandit, a little bit like a Robin Hood type of thing. Steal from the rich and give to the poor, but very light-hearted. And Raccoon is very much about sharing with others, very much on guard and very protective for others. This is what is working for you at the moment. So you may be, really focusing on helping others, speaking up for others, really, on alert and making sure that you're protecting everybody around you. One of the things that Raccoon asks you to do, though, is make sure that you give generously to yourself as well as others, not just everybody around you. So I just want to call that out. But this is an energy that you are a pattern or a set of life lessons that's moving through your life. So I feel like that's a good energy for you. Our number 5 card is all about the challenge that you've conquered or the lesson that you've just completed. And it's about commitment. And to me, again, I feel like there's still this overarching energy about commitment to self, because I've got here this energy here, which I feel is all about you not realizing what your own self-worth is, your own self-value, and probably looking at your own shadow a bit too much. And we've got light and dark here, and we've got, the bandit with his little mask on. So I feel like here we're still working through the big life lesson of belief in self and putting ourselves first, and putting ourselves, or making our own importance just as important as other people. That wasn't said very well. Then we have what is working for you, which is, I think I said that before. It's not. That was the challenge you've conquered. That's right. This is what is working for you. And they've got the King of Cups in reverse. So again, I'm now linking this back to the Ascended Masters card and sitting it under the present. It feels almost like you're not connecting to your intuitive self, your creative, intuitive, real spark of who you are. There's this aspect that I feel like you're downplaying the things that you're very good at. I feel like you're... if you're an emotional person or someone who, you've got a lot of emotional intelligence, and you may be very creative or very artistic or very spiritually in tune, that we're still working on this deficit here with this middle card, pile 4. We're working on the fact that either I'm too emotional, or I can't control my psychic abilities, or like an empath, and I can't control other people's, how I let other people control or affect me is a better way of saying it. So even though this is talking about what's working for you, because we've got a reverse card, I feel like that's a little bit out of balance, that you are very good at these things, but at the moment the cup is turned over and it's not filled up, it's overflowing or spilling some of it. So it's about understanding your strengths. And here again, I don't believe that you're completely understanding the strengths that you have. You definitely will, but at the moment that's in that struggle state for you. Then the last card before we get to this overriding energy is comfrey, and this is what is working against you. So comfrey is a very deep acting plant. It is all about structure, ancestral foundations, and fusion. And it can work on the surface as well as deep within the body, so muscular, and then also right down to the bones, which it's showing down here in this card. so it's working as a healer type plant, as all, I suppose, all of the Druid Oracle cards are. But it could be that there is this underlying issue, which I feel like we might be talking about here. And you may need to attend to both the outward manifestation, so what's showing up on the outward part, but also you may need to look at the deep structural underlying issues, which this line here feels like a very deep line for you. Like, yeah, it feels like there's a lot of wounding in here. And this could go back to your foundations. This could be ancestral. This could be, your family history or a skeleton in the closet. But it's about, digging a bit deeper with Comfrey, and this will allow you to move beyond this feeling of lack that you're feeling currently. And so this is not working for you, but I feel like we already know that. I feel like we already know that energy because of what we've been talking about already before. So we have peyote ceremony, new abilities, and it's a 4. So we're working on new structures with a 4. If the water bird has flown your way and brought you the peyote ceremony card, you're being asked to recognize your immortal spirit. Look to the crack in the universe for your ways to develop the abilities that can enhance your growth. Remove any denial that keeps you from developing new skills and use the talents you have to the fullest. The peyote ceremony card puts you on notice that opportunities to discover the self and for expansive growth are now possible. Very much this stuff here. Very, very much. You are never as limited as you believe you are. The resources of the true self are filled with potential. Conquering limitation created in the mind will allow you to discover these new abilities and know that all goals are possible. Remember that the decision to attack your fears is the beginning of the sacred path. I absolutely love that, and it makes so much sense with everything that we have been looking at for you. This idea of Treasure Island, of, you being the treasure and you not understanding that. Peyote is about new abilities. It's about seeing beyond what you think are your limitations. It's about understanding that there are things that are going to show up in your life, whether you like it or not. It's not exactly that, but you are very psychic. You are able to commune with the other realms. There is some big healing for you to do here, but there's also some great lessons, and you are going to come out of this on top. I hope you've enjoyed this reading today. If you have, please give it a big like, share, and subscribe to my channel. If you would like a private reading, there is a link in the description box below, and please follow me on Facebook so you can stay up to date with events and things happening. Hope to see you in a reading in the future. Bye for now.